We are looking for connections. We are looking for connections. Hello, everyone. Hi, Arizu. You're the first one to join. Hi, Sarah. Hi, Manjun. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Happy Sunday. How are you guys doing? I'm going to do a join live today with Simone. She's amazing. We're going to talk about LifeWave, and Simone is very in tune. We can ask her a lot of questions about our health and injuries and physical body. So I am very happy about that. Tell me, guys, where are you joining me from? Hi, Kamran June, welcome. Hello, Harmony. Ooh, look at Harmony, 111111. Hi, Sadiq. I just finished my webinar. It was amazing. Hi, Mershad. Welcome, everybody. Happy Sunday. I don't have to tell you guys that Sunday is my favorite day of the week. And the energy is just telling you and reminding us to chill out. Chill out. Hello, I am really. Hello, Sadiqi. Hi, Farzan June. Hi, Maz. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you, love. Thank you. You're so sweet. So as you all know, Sudi_Burnett is my English Instagram. If you guys like to hear Farsi, hi Jazz, welcome. Please go to Sudabe Burnett or Sudi Burnett Fitness. Yes. So this is the English Instagram. And I would thank you if you all write all of your comments in English. So anyway, I was telling you guys about my webinar. I am so happy, thrilled, blessed to have so many kids from age 5 and up to attend my webinar. And yes, this is my English account. And seeing the children, 5-year-olds, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, to see how awake they are, it's amazing. And we're doing the normal practice of thought, cut, silence, thought, cut, silence. And isn't that amazing to see children at the young age are practicing this and practicing mindfulness? Here is Simone. You there. Yes, she did it. So my guest is here, guys. Simone. Hi, Simone.
Hi there, Sudi.
How are you, lovey?
I am excellent. I'm so excited to be with you today.
So am I. It's actually, I was thinking about it, Simone. I was thinking, when did we meet? And then we met at the Conscious Life Expo. So that must be at least 2 years ago, right?
It happened. Conscious Life was January last year, just before COVID.
Really? That's just a year?
Yes, and the thing is, COVID came along and it just cut everything up in a big chunk, you
Mhm.
know.
Yeah,
So it's really interesting. Do you think I need more light?
I think you're great. I love you just the way you are. So you're
Thank
perfect.
you.
Okay, so Simone, let's dive into, give us some information about LifeWave and all the different patches and what they do. And here's the deal. Personal experience, I've used it a few times. And as you know, I injured my hand. I had a deep, deep cut. And you told me right away to put a X39 patch on it and different things. So we're still a little bit confused. Start from the beginning, because a lot of followers don't even know what we're talking about.
Sure. You know, this is what we're talking about. It looks like the size of a quarter. It's a very, very special piece of technology that was created by a scientist starting now 16 years ago. And it's interesting because this is what we call light therapy. And it kind of like looks like alien technology. And the reason why I say that is because I just heard recently that President Obama released information saying that he knows for a fact that UFOs are real. I mean, a lot of us already know that, right? We also know that the technology that people come up with must be downloaded from somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
We don't just evolve and suddenly we come up with light therapy, which is bioengineered nanocrystals that harness your body's light to generate a healing method. That's got to come from somewhere, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so the scientist, when I talk about alien technology, the scientist just said to me a couple of weeks ago when he was asked, you know, you're a great scientist. And he said, you know what? I thought I was a good scientist for a long time, but now not so much. I said, why? He said, because he believes he gets downloads of information. Just like you do, Sudi, you get downloads. Just like a lot of us get downloads, but we don't know what to do with them.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we think, well, maybe that's not, we don't even recognize that we have downloads.
Yeah.
And so the download that came with this was that the body is an amazing piece of architecture, that God or whoever you believe, that something bigger than us has given us the responsibility to take care of. And, you know, some people think their body is a temple. Some people think that it's, like for me, I believe it's amazing technology,
Mm-hmm.
right? And so we are given this responsibility to take care of it. And I don't believe that God makes junk. Sometimes our body feels like junk because of what we do to it. We block our body's ability to heal. And I know you do a lot of work with the mind, right? Our thoughts prevent our body from healing,
Mm-hmm.
right? Our thoughts can make us sick. And it's because we're not like a plant. We're not like an animal. We have consciousness. And it's that consciousness and being able to tap into our own healing ability that enables us to heal.
Mm-hmm.
So this technology is nothing but a patch made up of special crystals. There's a patent on the crystals. They're put in a special configuration on the patch. And depending where you put this patch, it will activate certain parts of the body. So for instance, today you can see I've got a patch. Let me show you. I've got a patch here. This is a powerful spot for women.
We didn't quite see it, Simone. Can you show the spot again?
Ooh.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Right on your thyroid.
It's in that area, which is very powerful for women, because we are finding now that we've got several generations of women that are struggling with weight,
Mm-hmm.
right? And they eat well, they exercise, they meditate, they do everything, and they're still not able to shed those extra pounds. And you know, there's a thing about when you lose weight, don't say you lose it, because as women, we find things. We're geared up to find things. So we find the fat back. But the important thing is here, and maybe some of your women around the world and the people that you broadcast to around the world don't necessarily have this issue, but it's very predominant in the US. And that is, we have in our water, we have chlorine and we have fluoride. And both of those, the thyroid doesn't know the difference between iodine, chloride, and fluoride. And so it's taking up those the chlorine and the fluoride as if it was iodine. And now women are having issues with their thyroid. So
Yeah.
this patch here is our master antioxidant, glutathione. And I know that some of your people on this live maybe take glutathione supplements, or they might take have glutathione IVs. The glutathione supplements don't pass your gut.
Yeah.
And if you've got leaky gut, it goes straight down the toilet. If you're having an IV, it has what we call a half-life of about 20 minutes in the body. So it's very expensive. And on top of that, when you have an IV or you take the supplements, the body, in its own intelligence, says, you know what, you're giving me this stuff, I'm going to stop producing it. We can produce the best glutathione for our body in our liver, about 300 times more glutathione than if you had an IV. So this is important for the master antioxidant. And right now, now we're post-COVID, but we still need to make sure that we have our immune system intact, because we don't know what else is going to happen. And on top of that, we talk about COVID. What's come with COVID is a lot of stress, a lot of mind games that affect our body, much more so than the actual virus. So this is important for the immune system. The other patch that I would talk to women about, or anyone today for that matter, is our X39 patch. It's this one.
Simone, before you move on,
Yeah.
Zore is asking, are you talking about glutathione patch, the one that you showed us here? Yes, Zore, is glutathione. And for some of us who might not know, what is glutathione? What does it do and what is it good for? Can you talk about that first?
Sure, absolutely. Glutathione is our master antioxidant. And so it fights free radicals. And when we have high level of stress, that creates oxidative stress. And so that gives us issues whereby we need to have an antioxidant. And this is the most powerful one. We know that the body is, as I say, it's an amazing piece of architecture. We also have the best pharmacy. We can make the best drugs for our body, if you think of it as a drug, that the body needs. We don't need to go outside of the body, because I believe whatever is presented to the body in disease, if given the right information, like the patches, the right food, the right nutrients, being able to breathe, meditate, sing, change our mindset, we can actually create chemicals in our body that can heal our body.
Right.
Our body is this self-healing, regenerating organism. It's only because of Big Pharma that people are now looking outside of their body for things to heal them.
Yeah.
And, I can talk at length about that, how, I've just done a challenge for women over 50, talking about taking back responsibility for your health. In this country, predominantly, we as men and women have given up responsibility for our health to the healthcare system. When you turn 50, you go and have a checkup. The first thing they tell you is, oh, you have high cholesterol and you have blood pressure. So they put you on medication. Now, you just went in for a checkup. You didn't go in for a cut on your hand or you were feeling sick. You just went for a checkup, and now you're leaving there with prescriptions.
Yeah.
And the prescriptions aren't to make you better. Back in the day, when I think back when I was a child, you would go to the doctor because you were sick.
Yeah.
And you went to get better. And it gave you something and you took it for a short period of time and then you got better.
Yeah.
Now the system is that you now become a customer of Big Pharma. They start you off with high blood pressure medication.
Yeah.
They start you off with cholesterol medication, which is a statin, for one. Yeah. When you read about what statins do, that's why you need glutathione. If you know what happens to blood with taking blood pressure medications, you need glutathione.
Yeah.
And so this is why I say we need to take back our wellness. I don't talk about health because health has connotations that, to do with Big Pharma and the pharmaceutical industry. Wellness is what we do with our health. You know, as I said, it's meditating, it's drinking good water, it's eating nutrient-dense food, it's exercising. It's all those things that are important to us. And I also believe that if we just look at what is good for the brain, concentrate on what's good for that, the rest of the body is well. Because when you look at, for instance, for the brain, you need to have a healthy gut. Because everything starts in the gut. Glutathione is important for the gut. So if you concentrate on what's good for the gut, in other words, make sure you don't have leaky gut, that the right nutrients go into the bloodstream, they then go to the brain, you don't get cardiovascular disease because you're not eating foods that have high trans fats. You're not having diabetes because you're not eating lots of sugar. You're not having neuropathy. So what if we just focused on what's good for the brain and good for our gut, we're good. And so that's why glutathione is so important. The other patch that I recommend...
Hold on one second. Simone, before you move on, I pinned Marl's question. She's asking, her 6-year-old daughter is overweight. Can she use that for her 6-year-old daughter?
For her 6-year-old daughter, yes. What I would suggest, she can set up a call with you or a call with me so that I can go into a little bit more depth as to what the issue is with her daughter. Because her daughter is a young girl. It's good for the mother to be concerned because maybe it's just, you know, yes, it's a glutathione patch. It might be that she's being bullied at school. It could be a whole lot of things that...
I think she's been bullied at home with the other boys at home, her brother.
So that's why, you know, whenever someone says to me, can I diagnose? I say no. I would like to have a conversation because, you know, the traditional medicine, you go in there, and I laughed, I talked to someone about this the other day. You go to the doctor and the first thing the doctor says, how are you? And what do you say? I'm fine. Well, if you're fine, why are you at the doctor, right? The doctor is going to rely on you to tell him what the problem is. So then the doctor can look in your ears, look in your eyes, look down your throat, and then prescribe a medication, right? What I do is I like to look at the person or as a whole entity, and let's find out why the young girl is putting on weight. It could be just food. It could be that it's post-COVID. She hasn't had enough exercise. It could be a whole lot of things that we can put
so
together.
Basically, because I know her, I know that she's, first of all, she's being bullied at home with the 2 older brothers. Also, she's the youngest kid. Also, she has this craving that she constantly wants to eat. And I was talking to her the other day, and the first thing she mentioned was that she knows that because I'm also running a webinar, we're talking about the mind ego, and she mentioned that she knows that the monkey mind is constantly telling her, go eat, eat, but her angel on the other side said, stop, you should not eat. So she's in between this conflict that she knows somehow that she shouldn't be indulging constantly and eating, but she somehow, I have a feeling that she's replacing something that is missing, which she told me was loneliness, that she's not, she feels lonely. She's replacing that feeling with food.
Well, that's interesting because when we eat food, and there's certain foods that release endorphins into the body. So for instance, chocolate is one of those. We all love, very few people don't like chocolate. And during this period of COVID, that's what people have had to resort to, is to eat things like chocolate that create the endorphins. And one of those endorphins is oxytocin. It's the feeling of love. You know, before, you know, especially women and girls, we like our friends, we hug our friends, right? And that releases the endorphins. When you're lonely and when you're connecting with them on a Zoom or an Instagram, you don't create that same endorphin release.
Yeah.
So for what I would recommend there is not any of these patches that I've talked about. I would recommend Nirvana. Because Nirvana, it's all about creating those endorphins naturally and having a sustained high. And it's about it, you know, hers is emotional eating. Everything you've just told me is relating to the emotions, and so that's why I would recommend Nirvana.
Let me ask you
recommend
this,
Nirvana for everyone.
Simone, because Zore is on Nirvana and she's feeling very emotional. Why is that?
She's feeling emotional because she's in touch with her emotions through the work that she's doing with you. You know, because of the environment that we live in, you know, people have always thought that genetics was the overriding driver of our lives. We know now that genetics only plays about 10%.
Yeah.
It's where we live, what we think, what we do, how we respond to others. You know, it's the news, it's everything around us that has more impact on our body than our genetics.
Yeah.
And so now when she's getting in touch with herself, you know, everybody is now, no matter who you are a different person because of COVID-19.
Yeah.
You know, we can't escape it. The fact that people around the world have been locked down, some wanted to wear masks, some didn't, whatever they choose. But the thing is, we are not the same as we were before. And our body has had to have adapted. And this is the great thing about being a human being. We can adapt. But sometimes we adapt things to things that are not necessarily the best for us. And so now that we're coming out of COVID, we've got to get back to knowing who we are and understanding that that emotional feeling she's feeling is because she's getting in touch with herself and starting to be whole again. You know, because of this COVID, a lot of us have lost the emotional aspect. Hi there, lovely to see you.
Hi.
This is Zore, Simone. So I wanted to add her so she can talk to you directly.
That would be perfect.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Experience with,
you know, I have Alavida, not Nirvana, and I don't know. I have so much. I don't know exactly, but I think it's a hormone changing.
How old
I
are you?
was so much sensitive. Sudi knows about that. I was so sensitive.
Simone,
where do you wear the patch? Where do you wear Alavida?
Yeah, before
where
she moves on.
It?
Go ahead.
Where do you wear the patch?
I have them in a pen here. It is right.
Well, let me share with you
okay.
the Alavida patch. And again, if you're doing any work with Sudi, this is what's happening. We have been very shut down as humans for maybe more than 100 years, in the sense that what Sudi does with you is she is opening up your third eye. Opening up you think you're sensitive, but because you're working with Sudi, you have to be a sensitive person to be attracted to her. Right? Yes. She's not gone looking for you. You were attracted to her because what she does. That patch, the Alavida patch, if you think of your pineal gland is situated in the middle of your head and to the back when you look in the skull. It's a tiny little gland. It looks like the size of a pine nut.
Okay.
And because of fluoride in the water and chlorine and things that are in our food and in the air, our pineal gland has become crusted over. And so we have lost the ability to use our third eye, to have vision. Okay. there is a piece in the Bible that without vision, people perish. This is what's happened. We've had this veil of crustiness come over our pineal gland. The other thing so that's taking that away. So that's like having this cleansing effect. The other thing that it does is at the end of our chromosomes, we have what are called telomeres. They look like, you know, when you look at the shoelaces, your shoelaces at the end, they've got those little caps. We have those little caps on our on our genes, chromosomes. And as you age, they start to break off. By putting that patch there, it starts to regenerate and repair your telomeres. And they say that there's a direct correlation between your length of your life, your lifespan, and the length of your telomeres. Okay. So if you're using that plus X39, you're doing what we're calling part of the aging process. You're reversing the aging process. And that's another thing that's really important. As humans, our life is cyclical. It is not linear. You know, for many, many centuries, people thought you're born, and when you're born, you start to die, and it's a process that it's just like a straight line. We're not a straight line. We have the ability to regrow skin, regrow hair, eyelashes. We can get rid of wrinkles. We can get rid of weight. We can put on weight. So we are a regenerating organism. So it's a cyclical thing. And we're able to rebuild because, you know, we're not the same physically. We're not the same person we were 20 years ago. Even our spine is regenerated. And that's one of them. I mean, there's lots of amazing things about being a human being. And that is one of them, is that we are able to regenerate ourselves.
Beautiful.
So your daughter, yes.
Simone, let's make it, if it's possible, your answer shorter so we can move on to more questions and help more people. So this is Moro with her daughter that we were talking. So if you have questions from her.
I'm also going
Say hi, Diana. Hi.
Hi there.
Lovey.
Hi.
Welcome, love.
Hi. Oh, sorry, another monkey.
Hi, Benjamin. So there you go. What is your moral? Tell her, or Lovey, you can tell Simone whatever you like to talk to her about.
Sure.
Popcorn. Actually, yeah. So did you mention about my question about her weight? So of course, part of it it's emotional, I'm sure, but the thing is, like, I was breastfeed her just for 3 months, and then we switched to formula, and then after that she had like eczema on her skin, one of the side effects of the formula, and then she started to gain weight. But I was happy at the beginning because before I thought, okay, my baby's small, this and that, maybe my milk wasn't enough. And then it's just something that her belly was start to getting big from the beginning. And whose belly? So my belly. Overall, so we have this weight problem now, and especially the belly. So I was wondering if those patches gonna work for her, or you mentioned something else new. Be quiet. You're too loud.
I would suggest the Nirvana patch.
Yes.
And then what I suggest is that you and I have a call together in private.
Of course. What?
Yes, in private without you. Just your mom and me.
Guys, sorry about that.
Whenever I was the little baby, it's still my mom's coming.
Guys, we're live. 35 people gonna see.
We can do a call together. And I think there's a couple of things. You know, a question that I like to know, you know, because you told me about how you breastfeed. Was she a natural birth or cesarean?
Yeah, natural birth.
Perfect. Because there's a lot of talk about now, it's been in the last 5-6 years, that women that do have cesarean birth, their children are born with a reduced microbiome. The issues that start with the gut, so if you don't have that, that's perfect. Um, it could be there could be some other things from what I'm seeing, the behavior piece. It's to do with attention too, wanting attention. And I think it's the attention eating. But I think there's some things that we can put in the place of the diet that will satisfy her. I think that's an important thing, is look at the diet as well as the patches. But I'd be happy to have a call with you. No problem at all.
Yes, she got 3 children and they all fighting for attention. So everyone is like, me. Yeah.
Well, I'm just seeing popcorn, for instance. I don't know what kind of popcorn, but whereabouts does she live?
Myself.
Whereabouts do you live?
Okay. I'm in Canada. Actually, my city is nearby Toronto. Like, I'm in Waterloo region.
Okay. Is her common question, is her popcorn that she's eating, is it GMO free?
I don't know. I just got those kettle corn from the farm. I make it myself.
Okay. So we've come to a stage in our lives now where before we could just eat anything. Then people talked about you need to eat organic. Yes, we do. But it's got bigger than that. We need to know what the food we eat has been eating. So for instance, if you eat beef, you need to know that your beef is grass-fed, grass-finished. And where is the farm? Is it close? Here and in Canada, they have chemtrails. Whereabouts is the farm? It's the same with eggs. Are the eggs from chicken that are free range, that are eating pasture, not being fed corn, right? So there's a few things, and I know there's some things that we can talk about to give you some solutions for all of them,
Of course. Yeah.
And the important thing, let me tell you, the overarching thing I see here is you taking care of you. Because you are a mom, this is what happens. We take care of everybody else, right? And you leave your own self-care to the last. And you can't do that. You need to wear the oxygen mask before you can help anybody.
Of course.
So, it's about, we can talk about some of those things too. And I know Sudhi is a big advocate for that. And that's why if you're following her, she's all about our self-wellness, our self-love, and taking care of us first before we can do anything. Because we get depleted very quickly. You've got 3 kids. It's easy to get depleted. So that's why you need to make sure. And of course, some of their behavior, right, is because you are depleted. They know.
I guess.
Yes. And, we are born with this. It's called manipulation. We learn how to manipulate from the time we suck on our mother's breast.
Yeah.
Right? We know how to do it. So that's why I want you to take care of you first.
Yeah, of course.
Mara, do you have a question for yourself, what you should use? You have
for myself, I have X39. I already put it on.
Good.
I have pain on my shoulder. But I was talking to Sudhi June the other day, like, I feel the same thing as Zohra. Like, I felt so emotional sometimes when I wear my patch. I have it, like, down here on my back. Should I wear it somewhere else, or maybe, I don't know.
I would do for you is alternate the positions.
Yeah.
A very powerful place is right on top of the belly button.
I couldn't see. Oh, okay.
Because you are a mom, we as human beings, we are Homo sapiens. We're the only mammals that do not eat the afterbirth. When you have a cat, she has kittens, she licks all the afterbirth off the kittens. The whales eat the afterbirth, and they do not struggle with postpartum depression, right? We as humans, as Homo sapiens, we give up the afterbirth. We don't chop it up and have it as steak, right? We don't do any of that. And so over a sustained period of time, we become depleted. and now you've had 3 children, right? And so having the patch on your belly button is a very powerful, spiritually connected. The X39 works anywhere, but when you wear it on the center of the body, that is really has the maximum healing. And you know, you're looking at being sensitive. There is healing taking place somewhere. And that's what you're doing with Sudi. We tend to think these patches are just healing us physically. They're not. They're doing a whole body. It's a whole body experience. The other thing that I do recommend is that you drink a lot of water. When we are sensitive, we need to drink a lot of water, because your being sensitive is not just feeling sensitive. You are now connected to the earth, and you are also connected to the moon. You know how we have our menstrual cycles are controlled by the moon, right?
Actually, I mentioned that to Sudhiju whenever it's the full moon, 1 week before and 2-3 days after, I feel like, I mean, like, I'm going crazy.
Yeah,
Like,
but Maru, let me bring this to Simone's attention. Both of these two are facing the same thing right now. They're in exact same, making a major decision, life-changing decision for both of them. And I think that has a lot to do with it, because it's a major decision to make, and you have all this emotion. Yes, no, is it right? Is it not? Can I do it? Can I not do it? They both have kids. So I think that has a lot to do with them being overly emotional.
Absolutely. And as I keep on harping back to the fact that you're working with Sudi. Sudi has the power to bring this out in you. That's why you're attracted to her. Is she has this this gift.
And how do you know all this, Simone? You're not even following my lives.
I know, because I know. You know what? I'll tell you, a year ago, I was in a booth at Conscious Life, and I watched Sudi, and I saw her, and I've seen things. And you know, also, I believe I'm a little bit intuitive,
Yes,
so I
very
know
much so.
I know what Sudi does. And the other thing is that I would say to you ladies, because you're going through this sensitivity, be careful of the words you use to describe yourselves. You said that you feel like you are crazy. You're going crazy. Crazy has a bad connotation, and your body hears it. Just say you're feeling different, because you are feeling different. But you're not feeling that you need to be committed to an insane asylum, right? So I think the important thing is to acknowledge that you're feeling different, because as Sudi says, you're making some big decisions. And all of that, you know, wells up. And sometimes when you feel sensitive, do you feel sensitive in your throat?
Me?
That you want? Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like I need to shout.
Me too.
It's more you need to be heard. You want to be heard.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
And so that's why these emotions are coming up. So that's why I think putting the patch on your belly button is going to center you. It's going to, and then the other thing is trust your body. You know, I don't know if Sudi has taught you this technology where, you know, we have cells in our heart. We have cells that look like brain cells in our heart and in our gut. And our heart, if we ask our heart a question, our heart doesn't go, should I, shouldn't I, maybe, like our brain does, because we've got left and right brain, right? Our heart will just say yes or no. It doesn't know maybe. And so what you do is you take your hand, you place it on your heart, and you take your other hand and you place it on your belly button, and you stand straight, you close your eyes, and you breathe through your nose. Breathe in through your nose and breathe out through your nose, not through your mouth this time. In through your nose and out through your nose. Close your eyes and ask your heart a question, right? So you might say, for instance, I did it just recently, should I do an extra bonus day for my challenge? I did that, closed my eyes, and my body rocked forward. That means yes.
Mm-hmm.
If you go back and it's really a no, is when you really come back, that means no. And if you don't get any sensation, then ask your heart that similar question in a different way. And your heart will answer. It's called brain-heart coherence. Very, very powerful. And again, you know how I was saying the pineal gland, it's been crusted over. We've lost touch with the gifts that we have and the power that we have. And so now if you get in touch with your heart, and the reason why I say also, I'm sure Sudhi might have shared with you how you can breathe into your heart, how you breathe into your heart. You practice that, and that will help you with that feeling of sensitivity. Because that sensitivity feeling you're having is the cobwebs are being pushed aside. You're getting in touch with who you are so that you make the right decision from that place. So all of that just because of a patch.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Simone,
Thank
we
you.
got a lot of our followers that they want to lose weight. So what do we use for those who wants to lose weight and wants to use it quickly?
Yes, I would do a combination of X39, because this is the stem cell activator, and SP6. SP6 is works on cravings, hormone. You know, a lot of our cravings are to do with hormone imbalancing. So we'll cut back on sugar and you'll lose the weight quickly. However, you need to drink water. This is what a lot of people who when they want to lose weight, they stop drinking water and all they think about is food.
Simone, let me tell you something. We constantly have 21-day challenge, plus they are all in my webinar. So they know that they have to drink plenty of water, plus 2 drinks, chamomile tea and those teas that makes you, and also cumin and saffron and turmeric. So they have all these recipes. They're doing all these things, and they're very mindful about their eating, but still, let's say you're doing everything right, your diet is there, maybe your activities could lift up a little bit, but they still have weight issues. So in this condition, what should we use?
I would suggest the SP6 and Nirvana, because again, a lot of the weight, the inability to release weight, could be emotional blocking, could be a form of depression. Because because we've been locked down for so long, everybody has depression at some level. It's called hedonic adaptation.
Mm-hmm.
It's when we get used to a certain level of stress, and that becomes our normal.
Yeah.
Right? And then they think I'm not stressed, but their body is still stressed. This amazing architecture that we have gives us the ability to go forward in life. If it wasn't that way, we would feel everything. We would be a bundle of nerves. And the minute we were depressed, we'd jump off a bridge. The body has this ability to keep us going. And so we are still stressed. So I would suggest the Nirvana, SP6, and then to top it all, maybe an Eon patch because of the inflammation.
Yeah, I was going to mention a lot of it has to do with inflammation. I have that myself.
Yeah. Then the Eon patch.
So how do we use this in combination, and what's the placement?
Okay. X39 can be worn anywhere on the body. But for the women that are working with you, I believe on the belly button during the day. The Eon patch to be worn at night on the C7, this part here.
Move a little bit to the right. Okay.
And the SP6 When you get the booklet of SP6, it's the only patch that's worn on the left-hand side of the body in isolation. And there's three spots. There's one below the knee to the left, and then 2 spots on the inside ankle. But the booklet will show them where to wear the SP6.
And why is it that it has to be worn under the knees or ankles?
Because first of all, it's on the left-hand side of the body, so it addresses hormones. And because it's on the, that is where the acupressure points are.
Mm-hmm.
You know, our patches, X39 doesn't work on an acupressure point. The other patches do. And so we just tell you where to place them. We don't talk about the acupressure points, but they're very powerful acupressure points on the body. And when you get the little booklet, it actually shows you where to place them. Now, if you're in Canada, did you get X39 with some beads?
What do you mean? What do you mean by beads?
Oh, if you buy our product, if our product is shipped in through Canada, they come with these little
from me, Simone.
Okay, all right. Because I'll tell you why. Then they're great to buy the product from you, because Nirvana you cannot buy in Canada. We have to ship from here, and because of our category of our product in Canada, it's called an acupressure product. So we have to supply little beads that you put on your body first. You put the bead on, and then you put the patch. It doesn't make any difference. It's just for Canada. But that's what I would suggest. And as I said, all of the women that are with you are, I'm not going to say lucky, because I believe luck is good fortune bestowed upon people we don't like. I think people that work with you, Sudhi, are blessed.
Thank you, love.
They are blessed to have you. Guide them and coach them. Because we need this kind of assistance. You know, my big talk is normally I speak to women, the two of you here are much younger than normally that I speak to en masse, because I am so concerned about Alzheimer's for women. You know, every 65 seconds, someone is diagnosed in the United States and is diagnosed with Alzheimer's. It's the same stats for Canada. 2 out of 3 people who have Alzheimer's are women. 2 out of 3 caregivers of people with Alzheimer's are women. And so no matter what age you are, it's important to start taking care of yourself, because the whole Alzheimer's disease starts 10 to 15 years before you have any symptoms. It's your body starting to shut down. It's, you know, not sleeping properly. It's being stressed, not taking care of yourself. And then over a sustained period of time, this affects the brain. And women, you know, Aloe Alzheimer did his thesis and his discovery on Alzheimer's on a woman that was 51 years old. So if you're 30, you could already have the whole process of Alzheimer's taking place in your body. So that's why we need to take care. And that's why we need to look at stress
for
and sleep.
Alzheimer's, Simone?
Sorry, Sudhi?
What are we using for Alzheimer or prevention?
To prevent Alzheimer's, it's a process. It's looking at what you eat. It's important that you sleep and that you drink. X39 is important for that, because this is going to regenerate stem cells and activate stem cells in the brain. As you get further on, there's other patches that you would need. But right now, for the age group that you have, X39, and they must be sleeping and addressing stress, because sleep mimics radical aging. Also, when you don't sleep, and this is something to be mindful of, your brain does not detox.
Yeah.
And that's when you start to get brain fog.
Mm-hmm.
We really need our body to detox. And that's why I say, if we focus on what's happening in the brain first, making sure that that gets washed every night, then we live a healthy life. You know, there is a concept called washing brain. This is your brain, and every night when you sleep, your brain shrinks by 60%.
Mm-hmm.
Now, it doesn't do that all at once. It's the cells, all the cells shrink, and get rid of the toxins into your glymph, which is the sewage system for your brain. So it's important that you're able to do that every night. And when we don't sleep,
sorry.
it's okay.
Simone, go ahead and tell for the followers who are brand new, just finish up telling us what does these patches really do? How do they work, and how is it different from acupuncture or point pressures or everything else?
Okay. We are made up of light and energy. You know, Nikola Tesla and Einstein proved that we are energy. And so it stands to reason that the medicine that we should have should be energy medicine, not petroleum byproducts, not acetaminophen, not ibuprofen. Those things cause the body to deteriorate. This patch here is made up of crystals, organic crystals made from protein and sugar. And then they put on the patch in a special formula so that when they put on the body, the light from our body touches the patch and sends a frequency back into the body. And it's called light therapy. Light therapy has been around for more than 3,000 years. You know, when you go out into the sun, they say the best time to go into the sun is between 6 o'clock in the morning and 8:30, because that has the most regenerative effect on the body. You know, there's a whole meditation. It's called Greeting the Sun. It's a yoga piece. It's about welcoming the sun, and it's welcoming the light into the body. Because if we are light, we want to only use things that enhance our light. You know, some of the food we eat, the toothpaste we use, the deodorant we use, that actually dims our light and lowers our frequency. So when you work with somebody like Sudis are all about raising your frequency, right? This is what this patch does. It elevates your frequency so that your body can heal. Now, I say all of this, and for some of you, you might think, again, this is alien technology, it's woo-woo. It might have been woo-woo 20 years ago. But let me tell you, 20 years ago, as early as 20 years ago, the US government was giving money to the Navy to experiment with light therapy. They believed that there was something out there. And that's how David Schmidt invented this. He was involved with a think tank for the US Navy on creating a product for the military, well, the Marines in submarines, because, you know, they go underwater for weeks at a time. They don't know if it's night or day, and they need something to regulate the body. So this is what it does. It harnesses the body's own light to heal itself. So for instance, looking at glutathione again, glutathione is the master antioxidant. People who've had COVID, they get a temperature, and moms, this is the same thing for you and your kids. Your baby gets a temperature. What do? We're told to panic. We've got to get to the doctor to reduce the temperature. The temperature is actually caused by the body to get rid of the virus or to get rid of what's inside us. Yes, when it goes too high, you do need to seek the help of a doctor. But generally, when we get a temperature, we just need to drink water and rest. As soon as you take ibuprofen, acetaminophen, Tylenol, that causes the body to stop producing glutathione, the very thing you need when you have a temperature, the very thing you need to fight viruses. So this enhances the body's ability to heal itself. It's as simple as that. Nothing goes into the body. So there's no drugs on here. When we say a stem cell activation patch, there are no stem cells in here. It's just light crystals. Just like a laser. You know how lasers work? This is tapping into your body's own laser system. We are light. You know, when you watch movies and you see them use night goggles so that they can see people at night, you'll see that the person gives off light and heat. That's what gets trapped between the patch and the body and sends a signal into the body. Because you know what we eat, and what we drink, and what we use with patches, we might think of it as food, but when it's metabolized by the body, that actually creates signals for the body. And it's those signals that are important, that we make sure that they're the right signals for the body.
Mm-hmm. Fantastic. I asked them to leave because I got other people who have a question. If
Sure.
I find them, someone is asking about COVID. If I find her right now. Who had a question about COVID? Send me a join request. Let me see who it was. I have a question for Simone. How about the COVID-19 vaccine? Dorji, do you want to join the live? You can send me a request. Do you want to join? Yes or no? So what is it specifically you're asking about? Do you want to know what's Simone's opinion? Should you vaccinate or not? I think that's the question. Simone, you don't have to respond. It's up to you if you wish to respond to that.
You know, I'm happy to respond, and that is, whether you're vaccinated or not, make sure that you have made an informed decision. If you've been vaccinated, I hope you found out what was in the vaccine. I hope you know that it's an experimental drug. I hope you take care of yourself more now than ever. If you haven't been vaccinated, again, I hope you have found out what's in the vaccine and have made an
You're so
informed
diplomatic, Simone. I love you. It's got to be that British diplomacy that she's saying, I hope you've done your study to know what's in it. So I love you, Simone.
I'll tell you why I say that, because a lot of people ask me, they say, Simone, is your patch FDA approved? And I go, do you know the difference between approval and registration? And they go, no. I say, okay, well, now I can educate you. When something is approved, it has to be a drug. The FDA approves drugs. And for a drug to be approved, it needs to have done clinical trials, and it needs to have a side effect, contraindications. You know, when you see drugs on TV, they'll say this is for eczema, but one of the side effects is that you might lose your vision, you might have heart palpitations, and the side effect could be death. I go, okay, well, I don't know about a side effect. The last time I checked, death was the end, right? So the reason why they must have side effects is because it's a system of selling you more drugs. This does not have a side effect. This is a wellness product. This is not a medical product in the sense that it has side effects. The other piece is, this is a medical device. Just like a Band-Aid is considered a medical device. It's a class 1 medical device, and it is FDA registered. And what that means is the FDA knows about it, they know about the patent, and they review the product every 2 years. The company has to send it in for review every 2 years. So that's that. But then along comes COVID-19, right? And with the tests, people are sticking things up their nose that break the barrier between the nose and the brain, and people are having side effects from that. Also, they don't go, excuse me, before you stick that thing up my nose, what is on it? They just let them do it, right? Such that we know people have had, I mean, here in California, I've had a friend, she signed up to go and have a COVID test. She drove to Disneyland, and there was just such a long queue that she left. 2 days later, she got a call to say that she's COVID positive. And she said, how can that be? I never did the test, right? So for me, I say for myself, and I can only speak for myself, I've not been COVID tested because I've not had COVID in the sense that I felt I needed to be tested. I think I've already got the immunity because I believe in herd immunity. And I've been in an environment of people that have naturally had COVID and have overcome it. When it comes to the vaccine, people are not saying, excuse me, before you give me that vaccine, what are the results from the clinical trials? How long has the clinical trial been going? What are the ingredients?
Mm-hmm.
Nobody's checking.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's why I say, if you've had the vaccine, I hope you did it on the basis of informed consent. Because if they didn't tell you what's in there, they have violated the law with regards to giving you a vaccine. If people ask me if I'm vaccinated, yes, I'm vaccinated. I've always had all my vaccines, but I do not believe what is now on the market is a vaccine.
Mm-hmm.
So that's my answer for me.
Okay, great.
Because I also know what's in there.
Yeah, yeah. So what they call vaccines right now, it's not a vaccine. There we go. Roz is asking, is any of the patches will help to open your third eye? Zore already responded and said yes, nirvana. But Roz is not convinced, and she says, can you say, what is she saying? If the answer is yes, how does it work with opening the third eye?
What it does is the third eye is currently crusted over because of fluoride in our water, chlorine, some of the things that we eat. We're eating food that is genetically modified, and that has covered up our third eye. Now, our third eye, we tend to think that our third eye is here. That is a physical location of our chakra. But the actual pineal gland, which is the third eye, is located, if you can see my head, my ear is here, and this is the top of your head. It's located about here inside the skull. When we are born, there's a very sensitive spot on the top of our head. It's called the corona suture. It's, as a mom, you're very careful not to press your baby's head there. It's 100 points. It's a very powerful spot. So if you look at that, halfway in behind our nasal passage and behind here, it looks like a pine nut. Tiny, 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 like a baby garlic. And it's that gland that's called the pineal gland. And so it's important to wear the Aloe Vera patch. It simulates the production of, what's required to lengthen your telomeres. And over time, it opens up the third eye.
But Simone, Aloe Vera does other things too. What are the other benefits of Aloe Vera?
It improves your elastin and your collagen.
Skin, guys, skin.
Skin. And this is the other thing. I don't know if your ladies are doing dry brushing when they're wanting to lose weight.
No. Can you remind us again?
Dry brushing, you can get it's like a brush with a hand mitt, and you rub it all over your body. I use a little mitten. And the reason why you dry brush everywhere, it's to get off dead skin, because we can regenerate skin. But more importantly than that is this area here, to dry brush here and to tap here, because that is how we get rid of our toxic waste. We have our bloodstream, which takes all our nutrients, all our oxygen, all the messages through the lungs, through the heart, through the brain, and through the body. Then we have the lymphatic system. Yeah, which is like your sewage. We don't have, in our homes, we don't have the sewage come through the front door, right? We have the fresh air, right? We have the sewage come underground. We get rid of it underground. And so we need to move the lymph through our body. Our blood is moved through our body with our heart, and then through doing dry brushing and exercising, little bits of movement every day, we actually push the toxins out of the lymph. So that's where, talking about the pineal gland, because we haven't been doing tapping. Do you teach your people tapping? The tapping move.
Well, I had a whole course EFT and tapping. For the whole body, we did that. Yeah.
Yeah, and you know how you tap here, you tap here, you tap here. That too is all about removing the toxic waste from our body.
Yeah, I did a live a few years ago about detoxing this lymphatic system because that's a major issue for many people, especially the one who tend to gain a lot of weight. I pin a question. Can you read that, Simone?
I've been suffering from fibromyalgia. Fibromyalgia is a nerve, to do with nerve endings. I would recommend for that X39, Eon, and Energy patches. And
Why
I'd be happy to,
energy, Simone?
because energy, we need to move the energy through the body. And it's just a detox. It's only for 15 days. And it's on that spot on the sole of your foot. You wear it there for 15 days. Because that will, you know, a lot of pain that we have in our body is blocked energy.
Yeah.
It also, weight gain is blocked energy. We're not
I keep
moving.
talking about that. You got to release this blocked energy. Simone, the second part of her question is an infection, viral
Okay.
infection.
Okay. Then she needs Eon and Glutathione. When she says a viral infection, you know, COVID is a viral infection. It's a virus. And so to release the viral load, we have clinical trials now that have been done showing that we can release the viral load with X39 and Eon.
Mm-hmm. You can get it from me, honey. You can order it from me, but you don't even, you can send us a direct messages and then they would guide you how to get it. Where do you live? EH_smiley. What country and city are you living? Where are you from? Okay, Simone, here's the deal. I'm trying to close the live. It's already 1 hour. Can you believe that? So let's see, can we do another live to get more into stuff? Because I know we have so much to cover. So let's do another live. What day works best for you?
You know, I'm open in the mornings. It's fine for me any day before
London.
12 o'clock.
Okay. So SH, you got to be in touch with Zore because Zore is the one who has the patches. Zore lives in Sweden, but you can be in contact with her. Thank you. Okay, Simone, what day? I have a full schedule. You don't believe it, Simone. Like every single day, literally, we're doing a live Farsi, English. Some days I'm doing a double Farsi and English. So the days that we have open for English lives are Tuesday, Thursday. Which one works for you?
Thursday's good for me.
Okay, beautiful. So we do Thursday, 10 a.m. And then I know we have so much to cover. So thank you so much. I love you. You're a dear, dear friend and a sweet lady. I love that about you, Simone, that you're so wholehearted and you care about people and humanity. And I just love that about you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. And I'm, you know, as I said to your people today, they're blessed to have you. So am I.
Thank you so much, Simone. See you next Thursday and bye. Goodbye, everybody. Thanks, Lovey. Bye, Simone. Bye-bye. Okay, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. So we already set it up with Simone for next Thursday at 10 a.m. We can get through a lot of stuff, health related, with patches or without patches. So as usual, guys, do not forget to subscribe on my English YouTube channel and receive your gift, Sudi_Burnett, and write loads of comments, likes, and share. Love and blessing. Have a beautiful rest of your Sunday. And I see you guys. What's today, Sunday? Tuesday. Tuesday with Doris, Tarot, and Enlightenment. Bye-bye, everybody. Have a nice day.